Hello. I just want to preface this by saying I'm currently sick, so I apologize if I need to take a break, a cough, and anything. Hello. I'm Tyler Tyson. Today I want to discuss pollution. Um, Pollution is a very very big topic as of right now, with stuff as such as global warming being so prevalent. We've studied it a ton in this class, and we can see many different examples of it throughout the world. Um, Whether it be DDT, as we discuss here, or something like Flint, Michigan, and the poison in the water supply with lead. We can also see it through or through the lens of global warming, through the pollution of uh, CO2, or the pollution with CO2, uh, with our atmosphere. Pollution is just a very big part of our world we live in now, and it's often discussed. This led me to run towards or question what are the biggest sources of pollution in the world, and that eventually led me to looking into China and the effects of its pollution. Uh, I personally didn't know much about it, so that led me for this assignment to read The River Runs Black by Elizabeth C. Economy. It was originally published in February 24th, 2005, and it gives a basic or a pretty comprehensive overview on pollution in China, its effect on people and ecosystems, its development through China becoming a powerhouse in the industry, and future solutions towards pollution in China. Aimed at non-specialists, as it provides an overview uh, on pollution in China, and it doesn't really. I wouldn't say it's really a deep dive. It's more a summary. Uh, for my analysis, I wanted to focus on the theme of pollution and economics throughout the book. Every single chapter somehow relates pollution with economics, even if unintentionally. The first chapter with the Hawaii River relates the pollution in the Hawaii River with the economic cost of fixing it, and also the I guess biological economic side of it, of um, all the fish being lost, in the Hawaii River, and the effects on the people living in that area. Um, with so much industry in China, there is a lot of pollution, and there's also a parallel drawn between the profits being made by different industries, and the cost of pollution. Um, I feel like the book tries to accomplish a lot of different things, but I think the biggest takeaway is that it's an example to study. I feel like it's best used as a case study on pollution and its effects on an environment, especially a big one, a big developing nation, with so many places developing with technical boom, or with industry and boom. Um, I feel like this can be used as an example to not repeat, as China is still greatly dealing with this pollution problem. Um, Chapter 7 also provides a lot of examples of other nations to study, such as Eastern Europe and the Soviet Union, further cementing the fact that this is not to be repeated. Um, the biggest strength of this book was its powerful opening and statistics, with the first chapter centering around the Hawaii River and its pollution, and just the overall effects that had on the nation. I feel like this chapter had a stronger emotional pull than a lot of the other chapters in this book, which led it to stand out. A shocking statistic provided that the health of soldiers in the area, or the health of people in the area, eventually was not good enough due to pollution to be admitted into the military. Um, the statistics provided were very personal. They provided a shocking view of how bad the pollution of the Hawaii River really was for China and its economy. It also provided great statistics on the cost of pollution and how many millions of dollars it costs to treat it. Um, this this very well doubled with chapter two, with the development of China into an economic powerhouse. It really puts it in the perspective when the cost of pollution almost cancels out the cost the when the cost of pollution almost cancels out with the profits being made from industry. Yeah, I mean, it's not really that close, but it still paints a perspective. Um, the effect of pollution on humans is also constantly brought up, and I feel like that's the book's strongest emotional pull. An issue I had with the book, I had a few, but one of them was the book became dry later on. It felt like it was repeating the same thing uh, over and over again, which is okay, but the evidence being provided was not really as substantial or as effective as it was earlier in the book. And there's a lack of emotional appeal or anything really outside of statistics. It takes a very, I guess, non-biased stance, which can be nice, but I feel like a lot of the effect a book could have had is lost due to this approach. Um, Another complaint I had was the pacing and order the book was presented in, as the opener was very strong, but some of the chapters later on felt out of place or insubstantial compared to the others. Mainly the solutions, I feel like, felt very out of place, as it kind of muddies who the book is being written for, as I feel like the solutions is targeted more towards policymakers and those in power, rather than non-specialists who don't know much and need to be informed about the pollution happening in China. It makes the book's message a little weaker, um, and the order could also be a lot more effective, with some chapters being uh, sort of out of place, it felt like. Especially the first chapter being placed. There's not really a comprehensive timeline. The first chapter is placed around 20th century, and then for the second chapter jumps all the way back to the formation of China, and then you jump back to like 1965 with the economic boom and how that had more of an impact on China's population, or China's economy and population. It jumps around a lot, which can be okay, but I feel like from a summary perspective, it's a little weak going out of order like that. I also think, yeah, going on with the future solutions, looking at other nations in the context of the book with chapter 7 was a little out of place as well. I feel like more I feel like focusing on China and its pollution should have been, I guess, a bigger focus. It felt a little odd with it jumping to suddenly studying pollution or looking at the effects of pollution in Eastern Europe and the Soviet Union. It felt a bit odd, but yeah. Overall, the book, I would maybe recommend it. It's very interesting. It's if you want to know about pollution in China, I would recommend it because it provides a great example of how bad it really is and the economic costs that go along with treating pollution. I would also recommend this book to people in power and people uh, who can do things about the environment, because it shows what happens when you neglect pollution and the economic costs that can come along with. But for a casual reader who wants an interesting read, I would not recommend the later chapters of this book, as I feel like I would maybe recommend the opening. But overall, it was a pretty interesting book, and I'm glad I chose to read it.